are up for a really delicious treat. Helen Manchester, who you've just heard from the University of Bristol, who honestly has one of the best titles I've ever heard. She is the professor of Participatory Sociodigital Futures, which is just in a really, what did you say, beautiful, beautiful title. Is going to share a really incredible, our next video postcard about an incredible project she's been working on with older people called Connecting Through Culture as We Age, which I think ties together many of the threads that we've been discussing today. So Helen, over to you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, thanks so much for giving me a little bit of time to talk about the project and to introduce some of the films that have been made by the older adults we're working with. So the work that we've been doing for the last 2.5 years is a project called Connecting Through Culture as We Age, Digital Innovation for Healthy Aging. I want to start by saying why we think it's important, and this really relates to 4 issues that we think may impact the well-being and social connectivity of older adults, both issues that have come up a lot in the chat this afternoon. So firstly, we know that arts and cultural participation drops dramatically in some older populations, particularly amongst disabled and racially and socioeconomically minoritized communities. And that those communities also experience inequalities related to the accessibility and content of both arts and cultural provision and digital arts and cultural provision that we've talked a lot about today. So we also find that those communities sometimes experience digital exclusion and social isolation. So what we're really interested in this project is putting the older people, and particularly minoritized older people, at the center of the design of services, technologies, products and experiences for themselves and for other older adults. So we've been creating a project that's co-produced and co-designed. And from the start, we have been working with a group of 18 disabled, socioeconomically and racially minoritized older adults, aged 60 to 75. They're a really diverse cohort. They bring many different languages and literacies and digital literacies and creative interests and experiences and rich life experiences to the project, a really diverse range of assets. So as I said, our key aim really is to put their voices, their lived experiences and their expertise at the heart of a co-design process. And we're working closely both with them and with community partner organizations. So we're doing loads of that partnering and friend raising, or whatever it was called earlier, and alongside artists, creative technologies and others to get involved in building teams together to design together. So as was suggested by Heather in the last little bit, this does take a long time. We started off in the first year working one-to-one with our group of co-researchers. We use creative participatory methods with them to really understand their everyday lives and their experiences of culture, of the arts, and of digital connection and social connection as well. So we used my albums and diaries. We asked them to include poetry, photography, audio recordings, collage, to discover more really about their social and digital connections and their engagements with art and culture. And we also ran digital literacy sessions and had one-to-one support for people as and when they needed it. We then brought people together into a co-design process. First of all, introducing the older adults as a cohort to creative design and digital innovation processes and prototyping and getting them involved in that themselves. And then recruiting artists and creative technologists to work alongside them. So we were able, through our funding, to fund 6 prototype teams to develop some ideas. And those teams are made up of co-researchers, of creative technologists, of artists, of community practitioners, of creative aging specialists, who are all working together in these teams to create prototypes. And I just want to tell you about two of those prototypes before we see the films made by the co-researchers. The first one, which is on the next slide, is Tabletop Travels, which is a multi-sensory at-home dining experience. And I think Tom was talking about travel with some of the work he's doing with Oats. This particular experience promotes the feeling of being transported to another place and being present at that location. So it's imagined as a way for people who are facing barriers to travel to connect or reconnect with places of interest and importance to them. So rather than being a tourist, there is a host who comes with you in this journey, who invites you into their kitchen as a welcomed guest rather than a visiting tourist. And it uses a combination of real world items like art, literature, audio, and visual simulation to create a kind of interactive taste of travel from the comfort of home. So that's in development as we speak. The second one I just want to briefly mention, and there are 4 more of these that you can find on our website too, is Emotive Fabrics. And this utilizes off-the-shelf technology to augment textiles. And they're looking to design a means for people to make a wearable pocket that conveys their culture, sense of self and emotions, and then enables them to connect with others through lights, sounds, vibrations, and or music to connect to other people in person and remotely. So again, a real mixed team of artists, technologists, and older adults themselves working on this project together. So the films, you'll all be waiting for the films. So I hope you got your popcorn ready. So these co-researcher films, we were really lucky on the project to have Todd Foster, who is one of the researchers, not co-researchers, one of the researchers on the project, who also happens to be an expert in low resource filmmaking. So these films were all filmed on her phone. She made 14 films with co-researchers. These films focused on their hopes for the future, on ageism, on self-expression, and some were just for fun. So in each film, the personality and passions of the individuals involved really shone out. But more importantly, maybe as a set of films, and I'd really encourage you to look at the films on the website. They're all on our website, they're all there. We feel that they're really powerful. They embody the extraordinary creativity, diversity, and enthusiasm of the wonderful group of co-researchers we are working with. What they do is they disavow the negative attitudes about older people as being slow to learn things, or of just being interested in harking back to the past or memory work. And just, I suppose, to set the tone for the 2 films you're going to see today, the initial group of co-researchers chose a fitting title for the 14 films, and they called them Rebellious Voices. So I think we're going to see a couple of the films now, but do take a look at the website to see the rest. Thanks so much, everyone.
Beware the beige, a colour between dismal and neutral. A done colour, done roaming, done with everything. Some of us have got retirophobia. We are the baby boomers that you want to sell to. But we don't want your stereotypes. It's the wrong lane. Exit only. We are the grey pound that you have as a target market. We don't all want comfort and care and retirement homes. It's not a retirement lane, but a dead-end street you pedal. I'm not going on autopilot into my future, yet to be written.
Yeah, so if you were not awake before, you certainly are now. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you to your co-researchers. I have seen those videos now numerous times and I just can't get enough of them. Thank you. Definitely check out all of the films. They will continue to amaze you. And I love, just thank you for sharing the entire project. It's incredibly inspiring. And I think circles back to that notion that older adults are cultural producers, not just consumers. And that video certainly underscores that point.
For more information about the 2023 International Creative Aging Summit and to download our summit resource guide, please visit www.lifetimearts.org/ICAS-2023. And be sure to check out Lifetime Arts professional development resources and services linked in the description below.